Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the beginning of September. My name is Jackie. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who have been here. I do weekly messages for all the astrological archetypes. I mix tarot, astrology, numerology, and psychology. And let's get right into things. So, as usual, guys, I'm going to timestamp in the description box below for the different spreads that I'm doing. I'm going to start out with the general, go into relationship, and then go into those of you who are in separation, okay? Let's get right into things. Queen of Pentacles, starting out with the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot. Okay, trying to figure, so there's some sort of turning point that you're needing to figure yourself out of or through. All right, let's get these down. I feel like those of you who are dealing with any sort of higher educational pursuits, there's going to be a lot of busy thinking there. This week we have Mercury's with Venus in Libra, but Mercury's going to be in pre-shadow come the 6th of September. It doesn't go retrograde until the 27th, but on the 6th goes into that pre-shadow. So Mercury is everything that's on our mind. It's what are we thinking, and it's in that 9th house, and that 9th house has to do with higher education. It has to do with religion, your belief system, the law, your relations, learning, your ethics. For some of you it's travel, right? So there's going to be a lot of energy having to do with that 9th house. There's, the new moon in Virgo is going to be hanging out with Mars and the Sun in your 8th house of endings and beginnings, of merging, intimacy, shared finances, any sort of group effort. It's where you show up as a we in a situation. So it has to do with endings and beginnings and cycles. There's going to be a lot of focus on that, and that's going to be trining Uranus and Taurus in your 4th house of home, roots, family, your emotions, your foundation, your metaphorical ability to feel at home, grounded, rooted, safe and secure as well. So with that Uranus trine, you're not only open to the new, but you're embracing change, and you're working to elevate your experience, especially in these houses that we're talking about that are going to be lit up for you this week. So I'm getting very heavy like this. New cycles having to do with bringing like a firm foundation, new cycles having to do with a home. There's going to be a lot of also tension though between that idea of home, or that idea of feeling grounded, rooted, safe and secure, and your belief system and higher education. So a very mundane example of this is those of you who are in college, you're going back, you're going to your dorm, you're with your new dorm mates, and there might be tension there. This is the kind of tension that needs to be addressed, right? Or there's some sort of issue that's going on as far as, you know, again, those of you going back to school, and I know that's just a very small few of you, this tension with this idea of moving. It could also have to do with, though, your belief system. So you might be actually realizing that where you're living is no longer someplace that you feel really comfortable. You know, you're not feeling very comfortable at all. You're not feeling grounded, rooted, safe and secure. It's not feeling that for you. So it could manifest several different ways, but that 4th house, 9th house in conjunct is really going to be having you look at these changes when it comes to your thought process, what's fair, what's not fair. Also, for many of you, having to do with your money, having to do with your self-esteem, having to do with how good you feel about being in something, because it's very Libra Venus energy. And with Mercury in there pre-shadow, there's going to be a lot of introspective thought. You know, a lot of introspective thought. And this is what's going to be going on here, right? This need to look at something, and this need to heal something there. So we're starting off with the Queen of Pentacles. Sagittarius and Capricorn, nice energy. This is you taking care of you, taking care of your body, mind, your soul, your finances. Very beautiful, reliable, supportive energy. There's nothing to be mad at here. For some of you, this has to do with possible marriage. Others of you, money coming to those of you who are coupled. This could be good financial management for some of you. A very sensual, fertile sex life. Those of you who are trying maybe to conceive, if you're in that space. It could also excellent energy for starting a new job, for buying a home, for starting something new that you want to grow, right? Now, clarifying that, we have the Chariot, which is a Cancer energy. Cancer is all about home. On the one hand, it is a Cancer energy in astrology, and in numerology, it has to do with the Tower, which is the necessary surrender and the need to leave something as it was. So there is this surrendering going on, but what are you surrendering is anything that was toxic that wasn't meant for you. So I feel like if there's something coming up where you're realizing, hey, this is not the right thing for me, this job, this path, this life I'm living now, I feel like a lot of you are going to be going on this new path, but you're in this space where you're trying to get perspective of exactly what to do. You're trying to figure things out, getting your ducks in a row. Jupiter and Libra, it's like, let me figure out the best strategy for moving forward. And you kind of have to do it now because you've reached a turning point, right? With the wheel's a very destiny-driven energy. This is, in numerology, connected to the magician and the sun. So the magician is being able to manifest something, and the sun gives us all the tools in our toolbox to make it happen. But it's because you're recognizing that there's this fated turning point that you're at. And when fate is like large and in charge is when you feel like you almost have no choice but to do and there's always choice, but you almost feel like you don't have a choice, like you have to do something. I have to do, if I don't do this, I know I'm going to be sorry, even though it might not be the easiest situation to take on, the most convenient time. Something about it might feel uncomfortable. That you always know, like that is, it's like a very sort of destiny-driven level of discomfort, but yet you're being pushed to do it. Do you know what I mean? And I like the wheel because it's Jupiter, right? Nice energy for expansion. Integrity, all of that good stuff. And you guys do have Mercury, in the pre-shadow with Venus and Libra in that 9th house. So we do like that. Now, some of you, if it has to do with relationship, you're in this space where you want to just sort of, leave the toxicity behind. And some of you are really thinking about maybe reconnecting with a past relationship in the wheel. Because the wheel energy can mean that. An ex-love interest or partner comes back from the past, but you need to think about that last go-around. If you think the connection had good enough bones and a strong enough foundation to make it work this time, great. Jupiter will bless it. If not, you have to know deep down you may be trying to fit a circle in a square, and things will probably not go very smoothly that way. All right, so however that may resonate with you. But we have this also clarifying this Queen of Pentacles here is the Ten of Swords. Mercury and Virgo energy, endings, there's a history here, but it's the release of something that's going to release a challenging time period in your life. So you're going to be able to move forward much lighter. Even if it's painful, even if it's uncomfortable, there's this energy of release, which is nice, because clarifying that is the Page of Wands. So some of you may literally just be letting somebody who is still sort of hanging on your soul off your soul. You just might be getting past a past situation, getting past something, and once and for all with the wheel, a turning point, it's time for me to just let that go and start new. As the Page of Wands is very much about expressing yourself. This is really nice energy moving forward into something. So for some of you, let's say, because the Page of Wands often can indicate a new job opportunity, right? But it's like the status or the glam of the job might not be as high as you would like or expect, but it still appeals to you for some reason or another. Maybe it's going to bring you experience that you're looking for, or it has some other redeeming quality, even though it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be. Just make sure you read the fine print before signing any sort of contract or anything like that. So that could be for some of you. For others of you, this is you just being really excited to just get out there. You might be meeting somebody new who's like this. They're creative. They're a lot of fun, but they could be a little bit of a player energy. Remember, the page energy is the young'un of the court. So there's always an element of newness. If it's a person, it's often an energy of immaturity. Okay? But if it's representing you, this is you expressing yourself and what it is that you really, really want. Okay, clarifying that, though, we have the idea of expectations and conformity. This is the marriage energy. This is a real beautiful energy of progression forward in your work and decisions and direction. You can even be dealing with a very motivated or inspirational leader of some kind, maybe a boss or some sort of spiritual leader, or just somebody maybe even within a career who's more experienced than you, almost like a mentor, right, where they're showing you the ropes. Could definitely be that. For others of you, You're very focused on the sacred in your relationship, right? It's like you're leaving this toxicity behind and you want to start afresh and really focus on, in a very real way, on a relationship, right? Some of you are going to be resonating with it like that. But we have this Knight of Pentacles, right? I mean, this is a Leo and Virgo. So having to do as a general influence, this is about increasing prosperity and financial growth and good investment energy as well. Any business venture, either alone or with a partner, really good. This does indicate an increase in your money or connection, right? But you might have to work harder than you are right now in order for it to be stable and secure. So that would have to be in either relationship or in a career / money sort of situation. So a lot of you are going to resonate with it like that. Others of you are resolving, some of you I feel like are confused about your relationship. I do. I feel like that. And let me go through that just with this row. Because the Ten of Swords, even though it's a minor arcana, it's like an ending of a challenging time period. Let's start over. Let's focus, right, on the marriage. And let's sit down and have a conversation about expectations and the need to conform to certain things, right? Who expects what kind of thing, right? But with this Knight of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, right, they're a really good person. They're loyal, they're dependable, they're all this stuff, but there's something missing. There's something missing, whether it's you don't feel like you have enough in common. Maybe you find them, this is very subjective, by the way. If you find them boring, it doesn't mean they are, but for you, maybe they're not interesting in the way that you would like them to be, or maybe they're not as romantic or communicative or just exciting, something like that, where you identify that as a possible issue. In being able to stay interested in the relationship for the long term in a really satisfying way. But of course it depends on where you're at, because it does seem like this person's very solid and dependable. So some of you might be like, you know what, the hell with it, I'll take boring. I'll take somebody who maybe we don't have everything in common if I know that they're a good person. It depends on where you're at, right? Because really the essence of the Knight of Pentacles is investing your time wisely and weighing out what's worth it, what's not worth it. Right? And figuring that out. A lot of you are going to be in that space. Then we have the Ace of Wands. So we have, coming down this way, we have the Queen of Pentacles, focusing on, taking care of your body, your mind, your finances, your soul, recognizing that something needs to end, right? There definitely needs to be a lightening up energy in order for you to have this Ace of Wands. This is a very auspicious energy for all areas of your life, having to do new beginnings, new enterprise, creative projects, consumption of idea. Really nice energy for family and virility as well. Those of you trying to conceive, beautiful for a new chapter of passion in your life and motivation. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's only after you release something that wasn't working. So it's like making the decision to leave that job, making the decision to just not even allow your energy to even slightly entertain that person that you were with, at one point. Anything that's negative, you're just saying, you know what, I just don't want to deal with that. I really just want to focus on my happiness right now and focus on contentment and creating a beautiful and secure experience for myself, right? What I like about this, though, it's whatever you're working hard on, it all very serendipitously starts to finally come together in its own unique way. Whether that has to do with a business, a family situation, a romantic situation, communication, whatever. But I like this with the Ace of Wands because it's a new chapter and everything is falling together and it's going to incite a firm foundation for you. Now, very creative for those of you having to do with career or money. Really excellent for success. Beautiful. Great for relationship. For some of you, this could indicate a new partner opening up their heart and expressing their feelings for you that maybe they've been harboring, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, by the way, I have these feelings for you. Some of you are going to be having that experience. Others of you, this is the honeymoon card, so you're leveling up a relationship, right? But yet then we have the silly Seven of Cups, which is a Venus and Scorpio energy, choices and confusion. Extremes, commitment issues, not sure how you're feeling all of a sudden. You're not sure what do you really want, what's real, what's not. Things feel up in the air, but you could feel that you're at the beginning stages of something. So this can happen if you have a lot of things coming together having to do with career. It's like, whoa, so many things all at once. Everything seems up in the air. I know, I feel my path going in a different direction, but I'm just not sure what's real, what's not. But I know something new is happening. So really pay very close attention to your instincts and your emotions. Trust your belly on this one, right? That's how it could be with career. Kind of the same thing with relationship as well. Because it does seem like if this has to do with relationships, something starts off with an absolute bang. For those of you who are meeting somebody new, it's like Ace of Wands, and then boom, you guys are talking about some serious stuff, leveling the relationship up, and then you're sitting back and going, all right, hold on a second. What do I really want here, right? You know, and I did warn you guys that could happen with Venus and Libra. You know, you want to make sure that, because you get very, very caught up in the idea of love and sharing and all of that. You want to make sure that you're not acquiescing to anything in this Ten of Cups energy that you're going to later be like, oh, wait a minute, why did I say that? That kind of thing. But it's all good. I mean, this is all good. It looks like everything is moving forward, but it feels like, to me, there is some sort of like, there's this narrative running under whatever is going on here, whether it's relationship or whether it's a career, money situation, whatever is going on here. There's this narrative of good stuff happening, coming in, you trying to readjust your energy to the newness while you're trying to sort of figure out the past and figure out releasing and figure and sort of making room for the new. I feel like that's what a lot of you are doing here. This is what I'm getting from the cards as the general messages. So that's what I have for that. Now let's see what's going on for those of you in relationship. No, you know what? Let me use these for relationship. Let me use these. Aquarius energy, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for relationship. Judgment. So this is you right now. You're in the space of judgment. You're assessing and letting go of the past, making a decision about the past, and you're spiritually waking up and you're shifting into a new phase. Now, for some of you, this is going to mean a reconciliation with somebody. For others of you, it's just reconciling what happened in the past so that you can look at it and let it go. And a lot of you are going to be doing that with this Chiron retrograde in Aries. We're all doing it in one part of our life or another, right? For sure, right? And you guys are doing it in the third house. That's where Chiron retrograde in Aries is. So there's a lot of like healing conversation, even with yourself, that's going on about the past. Nice energy, though. In numerology, this is the High Priestess and the Justice, right? The High Priestess is connected to the moon, right? It's a emotion energy. It's secrets. It's how you're feeling underneath the hood, right, of it all. And then the Justice energy, which is about fairness. So I feel like a lot of you in this state of assessing the relationship, you're looking at fairness. You're looking at win-win situations. You're looking at your emotional needs being met or not being met. You know, really looking at that. But let's see what is sort of challenging that right now. The current challenge for you is the Five of Cups in reverse. So the Five of Cups in reverse is moving on, forgiveness, hope, returning, recovering, right? And this is very much what you're working on. You're actively working on it. And it might not be easy initially, right? In the upright, it's the opposite of all of those, right? Where it's like loss and leaving and sadness. That's not your issue. That's done already. There's this like energy here of moving on, forgiveness, and hope, returning and recovering. And that's the point that's what you're working on. You're really working towards getting past something. We have the Nine of Coins. Oh, you're doing a lot of really nice work on yourself. We have the Death in the recent past. So that could be that and that's very subjective when I say the recent past. It could have been last week, last month, last year, right? Everybody's energy is different. but coming into this, so the death energy is a Scorpio, right? So this could be, relationship ended, or at least there was a time of separation, right? That was very necessary if the relationship was ever going to find its footing again at a future date, right? Because whatever was going on, it couldn't continue like that, because there was something, whether you knew it or not, there was something very unhealthy that was going on in that situation. So this necessary time apart. So that could be the situation for some of you. Others of you, the idea of moving could be impacting a relationship, right? Because the death energy can also indicate where your living circumstances can change, because as you realize that where you live no longer meets your overall needs, right? So this could be a situation too where, and for some of you, it could be both of those things, where maybe you were living together, you decided to end the relationship and somebody moved out because it wasn't the right thing anymore. Others of you, maybe you're trying to have this relationship with somebody who needs to move away for business or go back to school, or just move for some sort of family situation, whatever it is. The idea of moving can be at play for some of you, right? Okay, we already talked about those. Well, let's go to the basis situation, the Nine of Coins. Venus and Virgo. So this is really working on independent endeavors, really working on yourself. Working on getting your finances straight, working on your money, honey. I mean, this is just like focusing on accomplishment and success, and a little less on relationship. For a lot of you right now, in the relationship read is coming up that it's not that it doesn't matter to you, but your greatest priority is getting your ducks in a row in life. And for some of you, it's going to be about money. For others of you, it's just going to be doing some really beautiful work on yourself, and then focusing on meeting a healthy connection after doing that solid work on yourself. Because 9 is the number of productivity, and it's integrating the body, mind, and spirit, right, as a result of all of that. So that's the basis of the situation, right? The present situation, we have the Seven of Wands in relationship, Mars and Leo. So this can indicate obstacles, right? You're going to be able to get over whatever it is, fine, right? But you're feeling the need to defend yourself with a person. And whatever you are defending yourself regarding, it has to do with your morality, your morals, and your personal philosophy. It's just very important for you right now. Your belief system, and whatever that means. That could mean your belief system regarding money, regarding religion, any kind of faith, just the way you think something should be going. Okay? And again, going back to the astrology, you have that Uranus and Taurus energy, which is that, shaker up energy in that 4th house of feeling grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, it's in conjunct with that 9th house of your belief system. So I feel like some of you are going to be in the space where it's like, no, but please don't ask me to not believe in something. Please don't ask me to compromise what it is that I want to do with my life, or how I feel or see life, the lens through which I view things. Because somebody may be trying to do that, and I don't see you entertaining it for a second. I just don't. I feel like for a lot of you, there are two things going on here. I feel like some of you are getting, like, you might even be keeping it on the down low, where you're sort of releasing an energy from your past while entertaining a newer energy, but it's like this person, you don't feel like they totally get you in some way. So the recommended approach, something to look at, is the star. Now, let's make sense of this, right? Because we could sound very airy-fairy and say it's about hope and guidance and inspiration, and it's a change for better after a difficult time, and all of these things you need to look at. How does that really help you pragmatically, right? That's why I like to pull in the numerology energy sometimes, which is the strength card. The star energy in numerology is the strength card. And what is that? It means something needs to be balanced. So it does seem like there is a connection here in relationship. It does seem like that, where there's got to be some balance had. Especially if you feel like something's being tested, things could get better. They could definitely improve, but there is this need for balance. Somebody might need their ego stroked, but this is very destiny driven. Because you're destined to be with those of you who are single. You're destined to be with somebody now, and it's time for you to open yourself up to meet that person, to find that soulmate. But others of you are going to feel very clearly like there is this sort of this line to this person, and you're going to know if it's a soulmate and a karmic soulmate. I was just going to say, if you guys argue a lot, you're going to know that's probably a soulmate, you know, because they're hard. Soulmate energies are hard. They're really not very fun. This is the person external to you. They're arguing with you. Saturn and Leo, battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions. You know, fighting to be heard. Oh, well, you look at it my way. Look at the thing is, when we're talking about the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, it doesn't matter how loud you yell. Nobody. It's like gets to a point where nobody's listening to anybody. You know, so you're better off just like, all right, step back. But somebody's looking to be a little more argumentative with you than you are with them, right? I mean, it does seem like that. But there's still this energy, I feel like, that's connecting a situation. What is your challenge? Your challenge is the Lovers, right? And the Lovers is the devil energy in numerology. And in you know, astrology, it's Gemini, of course. But this is about the need to balance, you know. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, look, we don't agree on a lot of stuff. We don't. Now, first of all, this is your internal psychology that's serving up as a block. We might not agree on things, but if we could come together and work on these situations that come up together as a couple, we're going to have the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the energy of the sun to help us get through it and to figure it out. The sun puts the tools in our toolbox that we need to figure things out. So with the Lover's energy, it's making that decision, right? Because the Lover's energy is always about a choice. You have a choice. Either you're going to let it go, or you're going to say, forget this person, or you're going to come together and you're going to try to work it out together, right? But this is in your block. This is in your challenge. So I feel like it's like, you know what? That's not appealing to me. I feel this way and I can't not feel this way. You know, a lot of times I'll use the excuse where it's like, all right, we take the color blue here, right? It's a pretty color, but you might hate blue. But I'll say, oh, but look at this nice blue velvet. The sky is blue. The ocean is blue. Blue is such a pretty color. And you could say, yeah, all those things are true, but I just don't like it. And that's kind of the space you're going to be in where it's like, nope, this is how I'm feeling. So I feel like Aquarius, for a lot of you, rightfully so, you're going to be in this space of not being willing to compromise your morality and your belief system, which you should not feel like you have to do that. That's different than compromise. But I feel like there's a situation that you're attracted to that you feel like if you follow through with something with that person, you're going to end up having to compromise what it is that you really want. So that's something that you're going to have to really end up reasoning out, because we do have the Three of Coins here. So the Three of Coins, Mars and Capricorn energy, this is about coming together, working together on something, right? I mean, this is a very nice energy, actually, because Mars is like fresh path, new perspective of working at something. Even though this is like, you're going to work on something even though you're not sure if it's really going to end up being the right thing for you. But you're going to have to just, boom, express yourself. You're not going to be able to go with the flow if you feel like it's going against the grain for you. It's not that you don't want the relationship. You actually like the idea of the relationship in theory, but you don't want to have to sacrifice something that really matters a significant deal to you. And that's creating confusion for you, and you're having a hard time committing to the situation. Because of that, you're not sure what's real, what's not. That's being clarified by the Empress energy, which is straight up Venus. Venus doesn't only look at love and money, but it looks at how do we feel in a situation? Are we having our emotional needs met? Do I really feel like I can grow and have a family with this person? Can I have a future life with this person? You know, whatever the age and stage in life you're at. Very focused on the fairness. Very focused on your emotional needs being met. You know, and you can't, it's truly like you can't not look at it. You can't. But it almost looks like you're trying. But then we have clarifying that, guys. We have the only reversal that came up. The full reverse means that, you know, something that you're wanting to do here in this relationship might be a leap too far, and you're not thinking things through, right? And you really, it's almost like you have a blind spot to something, or somebody that you're dealing with does, right? Where there's a certain level of ignorance being exercised here. Or there could even be like irresponsible self-sabotaging choices that are going on here. And if this is the case, just slow down and think things through until you feel more clear about what's going on here, right? Again, especially with that Libra, that Venus and Libra energy, you really don't want to be agreeing to things that you know at the end of the day you're really not going to feel comfortable following through with, you know. And then we have the Three of Wands, which is Sun in Aries. Some of you are just really going to be turning your back on everything in the past and just moving forward in a really good way. I mean, this does indicate an important relationship, but a fresh path and a new perspective. Moving forward, realizing your plans, but in a different way. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of you are going to be in the space of agreeing to something where it doesn't really feel quite right, or somebody's going to be pushing you to feel that way. And the thing is, you're not going to be able to not feel what's missing. That thing, whether it's whatever is missing, guys. The interest, the passion, the communication, the excitement, the belief system. It's like something is missing and you feel like you need to protect yourself. For some of you, for others of you, this element of security, for some of you, it could be self-protection. For others of you, you're just very, very focused on your resources right now. And it's almost like you don't want to be sidetracked by a relationship. Clarifying that is the Ten of Swords, right? So it's an end of a challenging time period here. And this is an energy of lightening up, even if it's painful, right? You're going to be able to transform into a lighter and a healthier version of yourself so that you can have this Page of Swords energy, which is really nice energy to move forward in. Page is always a new cycle. Swords is truth. It's communication. Communication coming in. You might be meeting somebody online. But it does seem like, so I'm getting two different, okay, we have Ten of Coins, Ten of Cups, and the Emperor. Okay. One more. Ace of Wands, yeah, I thought so. Okay. I mean, you guys, honestly, this sword, Page of Sword energy, you are so focused on, this is the thing, I don't think you've necessarily focused on the idea of a perfect relationship, but certain boxes must be checked. Otherwise, you know yourself well enough to know that you're just not going to be happy. They have to be responsible. They have to be ambitious. They have to be respectful of your desire for money, or they have to be able to bring enough to the table. Where you guys also have the shared idea of family, shared idea of security and partnership and romance, right? All of that. But then we have, it's almost like as soon as you sort of establish your personal philosophy having to do, this updated personal philosophy, because it's updating, because you're Aquarius, and Aquarius is doing a lot of updating in their belief system this year. We are updating your belief system having to do with relationship, with this Ten of Pentacles and this Ten of Cups vibe. And it's like, boom, you're going to meet somebody who's really fantastic, who has the same belief system as you, who wants and is very respectful of what it is that you want. And then we have a beautiful new chapter of passion and motivation and creativity. So that's what I have, guys. This is not going to resonate with everybody, but these messages are super clear. So if you've been married forever and things are pretty good and whatever, then maybe this is just not your message this week, okay? Maybe we'll get you next time, right? Because I don't know you, and I don't know your personal transits or your personal birth chart. So important to understand that. You're so much more than just Aquarius. That is like a little pebble in your pond, to be honest with you. Okay. So let's get into those of you in separation. Yes, I settled for second best because they don't deserve you. So they may be with somebody else right now. Being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. I always look for you at airports as if we'll be at the same place in the world. But this is the same kind of vibe with, like, you know, they're in restaurants, they're in malls, whatever. It's like it's that psychology where when somebody is so in your energy, they're like right in the front. You know, you kind of see them everywhere. You're looking for them everywhere. You were my sanctuary. You were the only person I could confide in, and I betrayed your trust. not a good idea to betray the trust of an Aquarian. Aquarians and Sagittarius, not a good idea. Not a good idea. No, it's not a good idea to do that to anybody. I was kidding, huh? But Cancers too. Cancers, they have very long emotional memories for these things. Okay. So we have runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Yeah, so somebody really was, you were dealing with somebody who really was not very emotionally intelligent. Maybe they struggled with anxiety, depression, some sort of like, you know, being able to like regulate their emotions. Because we have the settle for second best, then we have runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy. Clarifying that conflict is a necessary step in the growth process. Be patient, this will pass. Being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. And we have wedding rings, union, wedding, married, soul connection. So it does seem like now this could be you towards them towards you. You guys might have been either married or talking about getting married, you know, or going definitely into that space. I'm so insecure that I am in constant need of external validation. I know it's messed up, but it's why I do what I do. I'm so insecure that I'm in constant need of external validation. I know it's messed up, but it's why I do what I do. Yeah, somebody messed up here. I always look for you at airports as if we'll be in the same space in the workplace in the world. Clarifying that is Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transform, growth, changed mind. You are my red thread. Guys, for those of you who don't know that, this is a healthy soul connection. This is the story goes when we're born. Those of you who never heard me explain it. The idea is when we're born, there is an invisible red thread tied around our ankle, and the other end of the thread is tied around somebody else's ankle, and it's part of our soul's journey to seek that person out in this life. That is our soul connection, to learn lessons, grow, have challenges and struggles galore, but then we end up working things out with them. Whereas a typical soulmate energy is in our life for a reason or a season, and usually not a lifetime. A red thread is in our life for a reason, all the seasons, and always for a lifetime. Okay, so somebody is viewing you as their red thread energy. That's pretty powerful. You were my sanctuary. You were the only person I could confide in, and I betrayed your trust. Talking, interested, conversing more. A wait-in message comes in, text, call, email. Let's start over for real this time. Now, Aquarius, you could say, you know, no way, and not even entertain it, right? Because these are general messages, but the cards are saying that there is energy available for something to be reconciled if you feel like it's something that is good for you. If you feel like it's something that is good for you. Starting out here, we have the Six of Wands in the reverse. Unable to move on. Somebody is unable to move on. They're stuck. It's like, and it's just like this retreating after failure. It's like giving up. Giving up kind of thing. Like they can't move on, but they're giving up. So you might have given up on them while you're working through sort of getting the last of them off your energy. We have the Four of Swords with this, I'm so insecure that I need constant external validation. And we have the Four of Swords here. The Four of Swords, Jupiter and Leo. You're just kind of stepping back and you're figuring out a whole better strategy to move forward for yourself in relationship. And we have you on my red thread. The Knight of Wands is clarifying this. This is like events speeding up, blocks being lifted, decisions coming in. This is somebody coming in, having something very important to tell you. Page of Swords is communication. It's air. It's truth, right? It's air. Page of Swords. So, I have to tell you, I don't feel like you're going to be very responsive because something happened, at least not initially. At least not initially. but you're going to make the decision. But this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Have a beautiful week. See you next time. Bye-bye.